how good are the defenders with their rework? Well, I have them maxed out on the test server, and I take them through the Ultimus VI raid. Let's go.
Valley Flying.
Hey, what's up all you Valley Maniacs? Valley Flying here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. And I got a bunch of requests for this. A lot of people DM'd me and asked for some footage of the maxed out defenders on the test server going through the hardest content in the game, this Ultimus VI. So I take them through, and luckily I take them through when I did, because after this, the test server is down and I couldn't get all the max stats and everything, but you will see the footage of them going through the Ultimus VI. Now, I do need to do a bunch of refreshes and a bunch of heals, but they are very strong. I don't know if there's a lot of teams that can go through this one full lane of Ultimus VI without any heals or without any revives, even the shield team. So before we get into that, let's take a look at my current roster so you can see what I'm working with. This is my current defender. So I got Jessica Jones up here at 16,000. Then we go down to Luke Cage, 10,000. Punisher's at about 6,000, a little over 6,000. 4,000 for Daredevil and 2,000 for Iron Fist. So they are all over the map. So personally, I won't be using them for a while because right now I'm working on Shield. After that, I'll probably start building up the defenders. But who knows? Maybe the Brotherhood of Mutants will take precedence over them. Plus, with this level 70 coming in a little bit, I don't know how fast I'll be able to get everybody leveled up this far. So the defenders is probably more of a long-term project for me. But if you already have them built, or if you want to spend your resources on them before some of these other teams, I think it will be very much rewarded for you. All right, so I'm still playing on BLUESTACKS. Check out the link down below. It is my preferred method to play on the computer, and TeePublic for some Valley Flying merch. Let's get to the footage from the test server. All right, so like I said, I'm not fully, let's actually rewind us. So wasn't fully aware of how to use them and all of their passive, how they were working when I started playing this, because this is one of the first things that I did as soon as I saw this, and I recorded the footage. Right now the test server is down, so I couldn't go back in and get all their max stats and their max level, but I will be doing that once it comes back up. Luckily I got this footage. Now I went through this raid, and this is where their power is when they are fully maxed. Now this is probably changing in a couple days once we get up to level 70. So more levels, and then you could gear some of their specials and ultimates as well. But this is them maxed out right now. Let's take a look at them. We are going through the Ultimus raid. Now, as far as my personal account, I probably get through maybe 3 or 4 nodes with my guys. So just what they do here is a good indication of just how strong they are. Now, Loki just kind of screwed up what is it, Luke Cage, because of his move right now. He's got that defense down, really hurts him. And as you can see, I'm here trying to read through what the skill descriptions are, because I probably was a little premature, but it was a good thing, because the test server, if I didn't go in when I did, the test server might have been down. So glad that I got the footage. Now, as you can see, they are very close to death, but I don't use heals for a while. I don't have to revive for a while. So right now they are better than any team that I have on my main account. Very, very good synergy with each other. We got Iron Fist here giving that heal. Now he gives the heal on his turn. It's a small chance to heal, but it is a heal on his turn. Now we're going up this lane right here. The main reason I chose that, now if you, as you can see, let me interrupt myself, because on spawn, Iron Fist with his passive gets a chance to heal everybody on the team. More heal for the defenders, not as much for Punisher, but if you look at it, they're almost back at max health already, and I haven't used the heal, I haven't used any refreshes. That is just Iron Fist putting in the work. One of the weak links to this whole team was Iron Fist. When I first looked at them, in one of the very first videos I did about Marvel Strike Force, I looked at this Defenders team because I thought it'd be cool to make a team with them, and the real weak link was Iron Fist. Now look at that, and that's not even using heals. Everybody is almost back up to full strength. And keep in mind, this is the Ultimus VI raid, so this is pretty difficult content here. Yeah, so just with his passives and his special, where he gets more healing, and he could heal not just himself, which is strange before. I'm not sure why it was like that, but the thing that this Defender team was really missing was a team-wide heal, not just a small chance on his passive, and that's what they got. Now, Punisher is a good fit for this team, not only because of the bonuses that he gives to the rest of the team, but because he provides that AoE attack that's also kind of missing from the rest of these guys. You got a good tank here in Luke Cage. He did get a little bit of a buff, but he was already pretty good character, so not too many changes for him. Now his defense up applies for 2 turns now instead of 1. The team-wide defense up that he does, and he gives everybody regeneration when he taunts. So those are some big improvements to Luke Cage. Maybe not big, because Luke Cage was already pretty good, but good improvements for him. And then he gets more health with that Defender's synergy. So nice looking kit for Luke Cage. Jessica Jones, one of the better characters already before this update as far as dispelling, and dispelling not just from your team, but from the other team as well. So very good for that. And she got a little better. She gives a little more energy. And then her focus that was there. That if you've been watching these videos, you know that Jessica Jones and Han Archer has some excellent focus when they're trying to remove taunts. It is in the skill description now. That's not something that was added, but was working behind the scenes. Daredevil, his passive, he's now getting speed for the rest of these defenders. Speed up, or extra speed for them. Now, this is kind of like what they did with Black Widow and her the description of her skills, where it only applies after turn 1. So you're going to notice a little bump in speed, or maybe not, because it's only a small percentage, but you're gonna have a bump in speed after that first turn, and that's because of Daredevil's passive. Daredevil was a good damage dealer. He got a little better with this rework as well, and as you can see, not having to use any refreshes yet. We're on the 3rd battle. Haven't used this skill too much, the all heal skill, because his passive has been proccing so much, and it procs at the beginning of each battle. So very good team for the raids, I would say. The question is, are they better than the Shield team? I would say, not having tried the Shield team on a full lane of Ultimus VI, I would say at this point, I think that Shield is a little better. And the reason for that, it is so difficult to get Nick Fury with all that Kree farming. But the Defenders, very good. All of them are relatively easy to farm. Now, Punisher used to have 3 nodes way back in the day that you could farm him on. He has 1 now, so he's probably gonna be one of the slower farms. Iron Fist, I believe, only has 1 node to farm him on, although I could be mistaken on that. Jessica Jones, she's also farmable. Luke Cage, he is in the Blitz store. Daredevil, he is in the Arena store. So all of these characters very farmable. So in that sense, they do have a little bit of a leg up on the Shield team as well. But you know, look, nothing used yet, and we're on to a bunch. I think this is the 3rd battle still, right? They're looking very strong. Like I said before, personally, I don't have a team that could last this far. My Shield team on my main account is only about 80,000 power, so not a great comparison, because this is about almost 100,000 power more than that Shield team that I have on my main account. But the very good squad. I like their synergy, dealing better damage from Punisher. The description. Now, I haven't went and looked at the exact stats because, like I said, the test server is down. But the description on the devlog said that, oh, and there comes his heal. That's the first time I've used it in a while. Just a bunch of stuff to do right here for Jessica Jones. I like that she's giving energy, more energy to the defenders. That was one of her reworks, and it just helps with everybody else getting off their moves. Now, this is the big defense up. Now, we're getting 2 turns for everybody, and looking nice. Now, one big complaint about Iron Fist was that his actual Iron Fist move did very little damage. Oh, and it knocks out Elektra, but she comes right back to life. So, in effect, does do very little damage because she's still in the yellow. There goes Luke Cage. So, that is the first death that we've seen on this raid. Kind of to be expected with this Ultimus raid, though. I think the best strategy is to have a bunch of teams to go through instead of what I do here, which is refreshing everybody. The main reason I wanted to do this refresh was to kind of showcase them in some very, very difficult content. Obviously, with a max team, they're going to be able to get through some of the easier content. So having to purchase the raid energy just so I could get through this quick. And I'm going up this lane. Here's me trying to figure out which lane to go through. Not sure it really matters. All right, so everybody's been healed and revived, and we're starting fresh on the next node. Iron Fist's chain is proccing a lot more, plus he has more damage. So you can see he got Strange and Mordo down in health and allowed to kill. Mordo's gone from that big AoE. It's a big one now from Punisher. Don't have the actual numbers because, like I said, I did not look at the stats. MSF.GG has not been updated with these with the stats for all these characters and all their skills. So it'll be a lot easier to see once that happens. It is technically in your game now, but it's separated by each upgrade, so it's a little hard to recognize it unless you are writing stuff down and tracking everything, or just super smart and can do that stuff off the top of your head. One thing that he didn't do is remove that buff there, and I think, oh, actually, because he wasn't taunting. It's when he taunts, so that was a mistake I made. I should have taunted there because it would remove this heal block. That is one of the problems with this battle, if I remember. There's a few mistakes that I make with Luke Cage, just not remembering that his taunt gets rid of a couple buffs or debuffs on him right now. Give decent time to heal if I remembered that, or to taunt if I remembered that, and then Iron Fist potentially could heal him, or at least take off some of the damage. Actually, he didn't have his heal ready, but there you can see that Iron Fist, it can actually kill people now. Winter Soldier was in yellow health, but Iron Fist, the actual Iron Fist move is stronger. So, healed everybody up again. Again, not the best strategy if you're going through the raids, but again, for this showcase, because I know a lot of the other content creators aren't able to get on the test server because they use Android. I use it on iOS on my phone, which is why I'm still able to get into the test server. But I know the Android version of the test server is having problems. So I did want to make this video for you guys just to showcase this stuff because I knew nobody else would have this footage. The people with the maxed out rosters like the Kraken and everybody aren't really making content anymore. So this should probably be a really good test so you guys can see. Now, you know, they're not strong enough to get through the whole lane without dying and without using your refreshes. I don't know if any team is right now. Perhaps when we start to see some level 7, some teams get up to level 70 for the whole team, maybe they would. I'm thinking if any team would, it would be the Shield team or this team, though. Just because there's so much potential healing going on with Iron Fist. Now, a lot of it is RNG because of his passive, but he still works very well in healing up the team. For the most part, unless I make mistakes like I did with Luke Cage, I think they're very survivable. And then sometimes I remember there was a stage with a bunch of Winter Soldiers that there just nothing could do because all of them had their ultimate ready to go, and all of them just hit up my Luke Cage. So I think I'm starting to get a little more familiar with this team. When I did record this footage, I was, like I said, I just rushed into it without reading and everything what the changes were. But what I did start to notice was Punisher doing a lot of assists. And if you look at his passive, he's doing those assists with non-attack moves. And Jessica Jones has a non-attack move. Iron Fist has a non-attack move. Luke Cage has a few of them. And so anytime these guys go, Punisher is going to have that chance to do an extra attack, which I think is pretty cool. Plus, I placed Daredevil right next to Luke Cage because if they start to do any chains, he does have that extra dodge chance. Plus, if he does get hit, Punisher will counter. Anytime not familiar off the top of my head. I'm not sure if it's a chance to counter or it is a definite counter, but Punisher does counter whenever Daredevil gets hit, whether it be a chance or just a 100% chance. I'm not 100% sure, but they have some really good synergy. This whole team has some really good synergy now, which I think was lacking before. They had some in their wording, but now they really work so well together, especially for these raids. Now, the way the test server is, not really a way to test them in Blitz or Arena, but I think obviously in Blitz they would be very good. Doesn't take too much to be great in Blitz. As far as Arena, I'm trying to think if this would be a great team. Now, as far as attacking, most of the time when you go in with the right team, I think this team would be very good on attack. I'm not sure how they would play on defense. And I hope they make some changes to the test server that I could actually test some teams defensively or just go in and try to beat a few of these teams. So I would be very interested in taking a team against a full defenders team. And I say full defenders, and when I say that, I'm meaning Punisher included, because he doesn't have that tag, but he does have the synergy with all of them to be included in this team. Plus he's been on some of their shows on the Netflix. So if you're someone like me that refers more to the cinematic universe content than the comic books, this thematically makes sense for him to be in this team. And there goes the Bruiser. I don't think I heal this next one, but it doesn't matter because because Iron Fist heals up everybody on spawn. And just try. I'm worried about Doctor Strange right here. The blind. Oh, and it doesn't kill him. Now, I don't think he was hit before that. So that took him from all the way full health, I believe, to almost dead. But Punisher finishes off the job. Threats still remaining are Quake. Hawkeye, because of his blind. Quake, she does a lot of things. The AI doesn't really use her slow right, but the big earthquake, the big damage that she does is her big AoE is damaging. You can't really screw that up, but it does apply offense down to everybody, or it has a chance to apply offense down to everybody, which is why it is annoying. So there comes this big AoE again. Does way more damage than before. I am liking it. Punisher is almost dead. Don't remember if he loses on this fight, but yeah, Luke Cage with a very timely taunt to try to take some of that focus off of Punisher. Now, that last AoE I think is gone, so everything is all single target attacks from the rest of these opponents. Black Widow's, oh, that was not Black Widow. Black Widow's still there, and Korath kills him with the basic there, and just finishing off Black Widow. And Punisher, a little short on energy. Oh, but that's on his turn, just didn't even use the move. That was just his passive healing up the Punisher, and then his passive healing everybody up again. Man, when these guys are maxed out at level 70, I think that and again, now he's at full health and didn't even have to use the heal. Oh, Winter Soldier was almost dead from that Iron Fist move. finishing her off with Jessica Jones. And Cable's still a threat, and I believe these are 2 Black Widows back here. We still have 8 opponents to go on this node. Black Widow does a lot of things, but not a huge damage character. I mean, I guess if you take into account her bleeds, she does some really good damage. But yeah, so this is the stage that just, it's a tough one. We got a lot of Cables here, so a lot of single target damage. We got a bunch of Winter Soldiers popping up with a bunch of damage as well. So tough stage, tough to get through. A lot of these stages are really tough. And the reason it's tough is because the way they're stacked on this Ultimus, just because they're trying to make it harder. And it's kind of an artificial difficulty because the characters aren't like that when you use them in Blitz or Arena. Now, there went Luke Cage. Not too much you can do. I mean, when you're getting a bunch of really strong single target attacks from multiple sources, it's a tough one. I think we do manage to get through this stage, but we did lose Luke Cage. It looks like we're Punisher's almost gone as well. 2 more enemies remaining though, so all we got is Winter Soldier, and boom. Oh, so we got through it with 3 people, but probably need a recharge, and it looks like I did do a recharge right there because everybody is back, and everybody is back at full health. So the content is getting harder and harder, and they are still doing pretty good on some of it. Some of it is me screwing up the moves because, like I said, I wasn't as familiar with their kit and the way their passives and everything work. Plus, it was really late. I was tired. And then there is one instance where I'm looking at Luke Cage's move. Should I do his taunt or should I give defense up to everybody? I pressed the taunt, but my fingers big and actually hit his basic. So the couple of mistakes there, but even with the mistakes, they are still looking like a very, very strong team. I think overall this rework was very nice for all of them. I think it's some nice content. We got about a few more minutes of footage. I get to the Ultimus node, the boss node. I think I have to try it 3 times before I pass, but these guys are surviving, you know, unless, and I don't think on many of the other missions they would have a bunch of problems. They have some good extra attack when you're facing villain enemies. Now, if you look, there's not a lot of villains. The only one here are Nobu and Nebula. So some nodes are gonna be doing a lot more damage, and other nodes they're doing just their normal damage when they're fighting against heroes. Very low on health. Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Punisher. Let's see if oh, he can't get it. It does not work. Oh, but the counter from Luke Cage finishes off Daredevil. Oh, there goes Jessica Jones. Will we get through this stage? I don't remember. It was very late last night when I played this, and it's in the afternoon on Saturday right now. There's a heal. It's not a strong heal, but the fact that it is there, plus his passive giving a bunch of other heals, just very, very good. It's what this Defenders team needed. I mean, if they just did Iron Fist and then put those passives in, this would be a very strong team. But it is even stronger than that because everybody got some buffs to them. Slight nerfs on some of these lower level abilities, but once you build it up to mid level, it is equal or better than the previous version. There's a few of them that on the low levels got slightly downgraded. All right, so we are about to finish off this stage and move on to the next node. All right, so everybody's back, healed up, and this is a tough one. Red Skull is looking like a big threat here. Now, this is a boss node, if I recall. This is the Red Skull boss node. We're going up against Defenders, but we do have some villains here, so a little better. That big AoE is looking really nice. Done some nice damage to these Kree Reapers. We got some Hydra summoned by Red Skull. and I am wondering when he is going to come out. From what I heard, it looks like the Hydra will get reworked before they start to make it a requirement for Red Skull. But it looks like even before that, we are getting a Magneto event. So Magneto probably coming out before Red Skull as a playable character. And here is a Thanos with a bunch of health. Look at how many bars he has right there. Probably not wise to go against Thanos. There we go. Big damage leader Star-Lord going after him. And Red Skull's just giving offense up to everybody. So making that whole team scary. Healing up a little because Jessica Jones was a little low on health. And right now I have the option to try to remove that taunt or wait for Thanos. I chose to wait for Thanos because I think it's going to be a little harder to get through. I'm not sure if that was the right move. Maybe I should have removed all this stuff and then just worked on Thanos because he does have that big AoE that he does where he drains the health. Star-Lord's still a threat. I'm trying to get to him because he's the biggest damage dealer. Once he's gone, not so much threats except for that AoE attack from Thanos. Now, the one thing that I don't like, and for most teams it won't matter, but you only have one dispel on this team. It's one move. It's Jessica Jones' ultimate, and if she's there's that Iron Fist. So if it is on cooldown and you need to do multiple taunts like we just had with Thanos and Luke Cage, you're gonna have to hope for your guys survive and to be able to go through that taunt. All right, so we are on that last boss node now. It takes a couple of attempts. I heal up everybody because I want... not everybody. I did not heal up a couple people, but it does not matter because of Iron Fist passive. He gets them up to full strength, and there is Ultimus surrounded by a bunch of other enemies. So we will count, see how many times I need to refresh this node to pass it with these defenders. It's looking pretty good right now. But I believe it's at least 3 times that I have to refresh everybody. It may be 4 though, so we will see. Really tough against taunts is Ultimus. I mean, so whenever Luke Cage has that taunt, it's tough. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Look at all these debuffs stacked against him, especially that defense down. That's a rough one to try to get through. So now what I'm doing is just trying to take out an enemy. Any enemy, trying to get this weak one right here. The good thing is that we have some counterattacking from Punisher. So his mechanic works very similar to how Shield Trooper does, except it's with Daredevil and not with who's by him. So I like that they added that counterattacking mechanism. So who should we use this Iron Fist on? I don't think we have a choice because Kree Royal Guard is taunting right there. Let's see how many we could take out before we die. We've taken out 3 so far, which I think is pretty good. You know, even with a maxed out roster, going against this first wave of this node, against these tough opponents, especially this Ultimus, which is tough against taunters. All right, so there's one. And we are back. Everyone healed up. Everyone gone. Actually, when I think about it, it's more than 3 because I stopped a few of the battles just to kind of conserve my guys' health. We're down to 11 enemies remaining. A lot of health. A lot of enemies around. So these guys do have a little bit of damage advantage for them. And, this is the one that I made a mistake on. Wasn't sure whether to... taunt or whether to give everybody defense up, but I accidentally hit the basic. I actually wanted to taunt there. Would have saved Jessica Jones and Daredevil most likely, but yeah, that was a unintended mistake on my part. That is the one that I remember the most. There's a few other that I noticed at the time that I probably was talking about something else during this video because it is a lot of footage. I mean, the original footage was about 40 minutes. I edited this down to about 30, so it took about 10 minutes of loading and other things, but still very, very long. We got 12 enemies now because Yondu summoned a few other people, so back up to 12. Probably, and this is one that I just quit to try to save a few cores, not have to fully revive. Luke Cage and Iron Fist just have to use heals on them instead of fully reviving them. But we are back to this battle, and I think I actually stop it one more time before we actually go in and finish off this node. Like I said, it's a tough node, and if you guys have played any of the Ultimus VI, you know how tough this is. So they're kind of getting their butts kicked, but there's not a lot of teams that don't get their butts kicked on this Ultimus VI raid. And just kind of using the same strategy here. I know I'm going in again with this team again, so I'm trying to kill as many as possible. I'm just looking to pick off as many weak opponents as possible. So heal block, can't use the heal. These Kree Reapers are tough. They're the ones that are applying this heal block to my guys. And probably would have survived a little longer, taken out a few more enemies if we didn't have these heal blocks, because I would have used the Iron Fist heals right there. Oh, and big move takes out Luke Cage. What is his name? Punisher's going soon, and I quit there. So that was a third time. So it looks like I go through this 4 times because there's only 6 enemies remaining now. And I think they're strong enough to beat these 6 enemies. Definitely very good in a 5-on-5 fight, although I haven't tested them firsthand. Just based on my play through the raids, you could tell that they're going to be good at these kind of fights. Looking, what are my options here? I guess, not sure if that was the best move, but I took the speed off of Korath just because I don't think there's a lot of extra buffs. There's definitely no taunters there that are on the team. Oh, and that is Ultimus's big move. If you are a tank or a protector and you're facing Ultimus and you have a taunt on, he is going to do a lot of damage to you. 3 enemies remaining. We have 2 guys left, and I think this is the last battle. They're very low on health. We have an Ultimus and a Kree Reaper left with a heal from Iron Fist. So coming in very timely. Iron Fist doing a much better damage than he did before. Last enemy, Kree Reaper, and there we go. That is the footage. So that was it, guys. That was the footage from the Ultimus VI raid with a maxed out defender squad. I think they did very well. Yes, I needed to heal. Yes, I needed to revive. But I don't think that there are many teams that you can go through a whole lane without any revives or any heals. I don't think even the shield team. Now, maybe when you get to level 70 and everybody gets up there, it could be a different story. But as of right now, very, very strong. I think they're very good and worth the investment. So now it comes down to choose. Which team are you going to invest in? Let me know in the comments down below. You could go for the Kree to try to get Fury and build up that shield squad. You could build up these defenders. The advantage defenders have, you could farm every one of them right now. And you also have some other squads. The Avengers are in there. Guardians are pretty good. Or some mixed match squads with Thanos and maybe Star-Lord and some other teams. Who are you going to be building up? Let me know in the comments down below. Very curious to see who you guys are going to be spending your resources on. I think I'm going to finish up my shield team. And then maybe probably work on this defenders team, because I think they are very good and will pay dividends for you, especially in the raids. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the subscribe button and smash on that like button. Let your friends know, let your alliance mates know, share this video with them. And I am on social media. If you want to reach out to me, Discord is probably the best place. There is a link in the description down below to the channel. And I will see you guys next time. I do have one question for you. What you gonna do, brother, when Valley Flying and all the Valley Maniacs come down on you? Valley Flying, out.